Hey, it's Courier Girl, and today we're going to talk about lock boxes. So, as a medical courier, or maybe other types of couriers too, you are going to be working with lock boxes. And what these are is metal, usually metal, sometimes plastic boxes that go on the outside of a building. Often they will hang over a door or sit on the ground near the outside of a building. And what happens is once the office closes, they will put their specimens or other items into the lockbox, and then somebody like you or me will go around collecting all of the specimens and take them to the main hub or lab. So lockboxes, I love lockboxes because they're easy, they're fast, you don't have to deal with anyone. But I don't love them because they can sometimes, like, the locks will hang up or the hinges will be rusty. And so I've come up with a few tricks that will help you, they help me, keep these lock boxes working smoothly. And another bonus is that your customers will love it too, because if you're having trouble opening the locks, so are they. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about keys. I do not keep my lockbox key on my main keychain. And that's because then I have to turn off my car every time I have to get into a lockbox. And that's a pain in the butt, especially when often I'll have lockboxes that I can just either drive up to and just take the stuff out of them, just like roll down my window and take the stuff out. Or sometimes I will open my door and step 1 or 2 steps to get the stuff out of the lockbox. And so since I'm right there and I'm like 1 step away, I leave the car running. Now, obviously, if I go into a building, I'm going to turn it off and lock it. That's just good practice. But if I'm right there or driving up to it, I'm not going to keep turning off my vehicle every single time. So I have a dedicated keychain. And what I did is I get into lockboxes from a couple different companies. And so each one has their own, I don't know if you can see this, I'll go up here. Each one has their own ring on, like, my keychain. So these two belong to one company and this one belongs to another company. And I use this is actually a badge holder reel. It's got an alligator clip. So you can clip it right to I either clip it to my sleeve if I've got long sleeves on, or to my collar. And it swivels around so you can get the best angle. And it retracts. So I love that. So I can either clip it to my collar like this, and then I can just go out and put the key in the lock. Or if I'm wearing long sleeves, I'll clip it right to the end of my sleeve, and then I can just like flip it up, and I don't know if you can see that really good. Kind of like unlock it that way. And that works really well, and that way I don't lose it. And let me tell you, I have lost a few. I've left them in a lockbox, kind of absentmindedly driven away. I thought they were in my pocket and they fell out somewhere. So clipping them on is a really good idea. And these you can have on Amazon, or you can get on Amazon. I like the ones, like I said, with the swivel. I saw some at my local, like Walmart, and they didn't have a swivel, so I didn't buy them. And these are cheap too. I will put a link in the description below in case you're interested in these. And they last a long time. These are pretty strong, and they go out a couple feet, I guess. All right, the other reason, or the other thing I would say, sorry, is if you can get multiple lockbox keys. Now, a lot of companies will only give you one, and I understand that's our policy, but if you can get a second one to keep in your vehicle, like in your glove box or somewhere else, in case you lose this one, or in case what happened to another lady who's a courier is she stuck it in the lock and the thing broke. So if she wouldn't have had a spare key, she would have had to like call dispatch, get somebody to get her another key. It's just a real pain. So to have backup keys, if you can get them, not everybody will give you an extra, but try to get one if you can. All right, so let's go over and look at this lockbox, and I will show you how it works. All right, so I turn the camera around, and let me pull it back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So this is the whole lockbox. You can kind of see at the top how it would hook over a door. And I think there's like a hole so you could actually bolt the thing in. So, let's see. There we go. All right, so we're going to open this lockbox. You just stick the key in there, turn it, and voila. And as you can see, this is kind of an old lockbox, but there's like styrofoam on the inside, and that is to help keep it a little bit insulated. And then this little flap, I think, is supposed to keep the weather out of it. All right, so like I said before, these hinges can get rusty and be stiff, and the locks can also be stiff or even get loose. All right, so let me show you my lockbox toolkit. Not really a toolkit, but I'm pretending, okay? So the first thing that I have is WD-40. We use that to loosen up the locks and the hinges, and literally you only have to do it a couple times a year. In the winter, I might actually hit it twice, like in the beginning and in the middle of the season, depending on how bad the weather is. But in the summer, maybe once, if that. Then this is de-icer. If it says dry lubricant and de-icer, but I use it for de-icer if the lock absolutely will not open. And this is a lighter, which is another way to unfreeze frozen locks. And here I also have, you can see here, paper towels, because paper towels are good to have for everything. All right, so if your lockbox is on a door, then you can just open it and lubricate it a little bit. But this one is sitting on a counter, so let's not do that. So all you would do is open your WD-40, and I have this little red thing on here, and you would just like go down along it like that, and then up and down, up and down. If it's really bad, you can do the outside of it too. But you can just lubricate it like that and go up and down, and use a paper towel to wipe a little bit of the excess off. You still want to leave a good amount on there because you want it to lubricate overnight. So I like to do this. If I know that the lockbox isn't going to be used on the weekend, I'll do it on a Friday and let it sit all weekend. But if I know it's going to be used every day, then I'll try to do it the last run of the night so it can at least sit overnight. Now for the lock itself, you can either stick it kind of in the hole and give it a quick squirt, and then stick the key in and kind of go back and forth like this to loosen it up. Or sometimes I will just squirt the key directly and then stick it in and loosen it up. Now for de-icer, I usually will just, I'm not going to do it because it doesn't need it, but I'll spray some in the hole like that, or I'll spray some on the key. But usually spraying it on the hole and letting it sit for a few minutes works better with a de-icer. The other thing you can do, if it's all iced up, is you can, I'm not going to do it with the key I just used because it's got WD-40 on it, but you can actually light a lighter and heat it up for a couple minutes. Now, it'll get nice and hot. It'll unfreeze the lock. Be careful, because if you let it get too hot, the whole key is going to get hot and it's going to burn your hand. And this actually, in just that couple seconds, it's already pretty warm. So if you use that method, then wear gloves, but don't catch your gloves on fire, and make sure that you don't burn yourself. So that's it. I always keep WD-40 in the car, and I use it for other things too, to like loosen up squeaks and stuff like that. I always keep de-icer in the car for locks, and there's also been other types of lock boxes that I've gotten into that have combination locks or key like padlocks. It works great on those too. And if you do this just every once in a while, you're going to keep this lock box really easy to open and really smooth. While other people are out there fighting with their lock boxes, you're not going to have to. Plus, you save time because you're quick in and quick out. You're not fighting with the key. So that is it. Not a very exciting video, but if you're doing medical courier work and you are using lock boxes, then This should make your life a little bit easier. Okay, that's it for now. I am out, and I will see you on the road.